What's up, you guys? I want to give you guys the blueprint to your basic pitch when you're out there selling pest control door to door, right? Now this blueprint is huge. It's your backbone, it's your foundation, that if you master this blueprint on every door, you're going to come home with sales every day, right? You might not be able to get through this blueprint on every door, but the doors that you do get through, you're going to have a high likelihood that you can close them, okay? Now this is the blueprint for just a basic startup for someone who doesn't already have a service. You're going to change up your blueprint for a switchover pitch, and we'll get into that later, right? But this is your survival kit right here for a whole summer knocking doors. You should always come home with at least 1 or 2 sales if you know how to go through this. So let's get into it. First off, this is the basic order. You're going to go intro, then you're going to go price, then you're going to go service, or building value, and then you go into paperwork closing, overcoming objections, reclosing, okay? Now let's walk through each of them into detail and see how that looks. First off, your intro is who you are, what you're doing, why you're there, and it should give the prospect a call to action. It should grab their attention and just say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Are you in or are you out, right? And it looks something like this. Now you can tailor it to your own, but basically just always ask yourself, is it short, simple, does it grab their attention, does it communicate why you're there in a short, effective manner? Hey, I'm Dustin. Reason I stopped by, I'm getting some work done out here in your guys' neighborhood tomorrow. And it's mainly a ton of ants and a lot of spiders, like those little brown widow spiders. If you guys can be around, I'm getting it done for half off. So I gave right at the end there a call to action, right? I want to get them to bite on the price and say, well, what's half off? How much is it? Okay? Next, you're going to go into price. Now, keep in mind, in between each of these checkpoints in your blueprint, you might get a few objections that you'll have to roll through and overcome, or you might get some agreement and cooperation, which is good. You're on the right track. Either way, push through to price. So they may say, oh, no thanks, I'm not interested. Or do you guys just have a card? Or I'm just real busy. Either way, whatever they say, yeah, that's fine. I'll just show you what I'm doing for the neighbors. Definitely keep it in mind, right? And then you assumptively go into price. Now, some of them are going to say, yeah, we're getting ants. How much are you guys? That's awesome. That's a golden. That's a laydown. If you know your roadmap, you'll be able to sign them up, okay? So you go into intro. Hey, if you can be around, I'm doing it for half off. They say, no, we're good. Cool, not a problem. I'll just show you what I'm doing for the neighbors. Keep it in mind. Now what we're going to do with price is we're going to say normally all this stuff, and then we're going to say, but tomorrow, since I've got trucks out here, I'm doing the discount, right? And so it should look something like this. Now normally we come out for that initial for $199. And after that, it's cheap. We just come out quarterly. It's just once every 3 months for the $119. But since I've got trucks out here tomorrow and you'd be helping me out, I'm just doing it $99 across the board. And that's going to be for everything. Now, a couple of keys. First off, the deal got better. We started off at $199. They're like, yikes. Then we went to $119. They're like, whew. Then finally, we're like $99 across the board. I'm making it very simple, and I'm just saying, look, $99 across the board. If you can be around tomorrow with the neighbors, we're just doing it $99 across the board. And then the other key is after I've gone through price, you don't want to have your price on your chart here just for them to look at the whole time, okay? You want to get off of price and get back onto the bugs and what's important, okay? So you're just saying, yeah, and since my trucks are out here, if you want to get it done with the neighbors, I'm doing it $99 across the board. And that's going to be for everything. So that's a transition statement. Now you're going into service, right? Now service, there's features and there's value to each of those features. This is the part where you're going to be explaining some service features and also asking questions to generate more interest, right? So it's important to know what we do and why we do it, but it's also important that as you're going through this, you're asking soft closes and you're asking probing questions, right? Probe for ammo. So you're going through this and you're asking them soft closes. Does that make sense? Do you see how that works? And then you're also saying, by the way, have you guys ever had a service before? Or, by the way, I know it gets bad out here with the spiders. Are you guys getting the ants as well, or is it just the spiders? Or, by the way, what else are you guys seeing? And you give them the bug chart. The main thing is you want to get into service and explain after price. The first thing I got to do, you see these spider webs up here? I got to get these spider webs down. This is where the spiders hatch and they go inside the home. That's why a lot of your neighbors have been seeing spiders in the bathroom. You've probably seen the spiders in the bathroom, right? What I'm doing is I'm looking for agreement and I'm looking to generate a conversation. So it's always important that after you've explained something, you say, does that make sense? Or do you see how that works, right? So first thing we do is we de-web all the spider webs. The second thing we do is we spray the foundation of the home, right? And that's just real simple. You're gonna say, hey, my techs are gonna come out, they've got the backpacks. They're gonna treat all around the foundation of the home. Now that's really important because I wanna make sure I give you a protective barrier all around the foundation. It's gonna work for 3 months, right? Do you see how that works? Good. Now, as you're asking soft closes and as you're building, probing and getting ammo, you might stumble upon a buying question. They might say, yeah, do you guys treat for rats? Now, it's important to pay attention to that and ask them, yeah, we treat for rats. Where are you getting them? And yeah, you're getting them in the garage. Okay, ask them questions, talk about the hot buttons, and then go on to paperwork closing, which is really when you're starting to build and raise up their buying temperature, right? So you've gone through de-webbing the eaves, you've gone through spraying the foundation. Another thing we do is we granulate the yard. So we come out, we've got the granules, we're gonna go all around the yard. That granule, once it's watered, it's gonna activate and seep down under the ground. It's gonna get rid of all the bugs nesting in the yard, right? So they ask a buying question, or let's say you've gone through all 3 of these, you're not really getting anything, you go right into paperwork closing. And the way you transition into that is, let me show you how it works. Now, boom, you pull out the paperwork. You should have paperwork in your clipboard to where you're pulling it out like this. Only thing on top of your clipboard should be maybe people you signed up, you can name drop them, that kind of thing. So I just explained some service features. They asked me something like, hey, what do you do for rats? Glad you asked. Let me show you how it works. Now, at this point, we're getting into paperwork. We're gonna use the paperwork to close, and there's a ton of different things we can do with the paperwork, as well as other closes we can use to get them going, right? But the first thing and the go-to is always the money-back guarantee. So you're gonna point on the paperwork here and say, now, all the neighbors out here love that I give 100% money-back guarantee. What that means is I'm gonna come out every 3 months and do a regular maintenance, a full service for your home. But if you ever get anything in between, I come back out absolutely free. And if you're not happy after I've done a couple free reservices because you're still sitting the same pest, then I obviously haven't earned your business. And that's where we provide that money-back guarantee. Is that fair? Now what I'm doing is I'm looking for agreement, I'm giving a soft close. Is that fair? I got the paperwork, they know that it's on. Now if they say yes, you say perfect. And I'm Dustin, by the way. What was your name? Now I'm shaking hands, we're making friends, we're meeting each other. You might even do a little small talk too. And then you go right back into the paperwork. So right here with the service notes, I know you mentioned the rats. I want to make sure I get everything down for my tech. Now I'm giving them the bug chart and I'm with them and I'm going to say, what else should I make a note for my tech? That way when he gets out here tomorrow, he'll know exactly what we need to get done, right? So that is service notes for the tech. I'm telling them, look, I'm going to write some notes down so when we come out here tomorrow, we got everything taken care of, we're all ready to go, right? Then, now they're going to say yes or no to that. They might have some objections or whatever, but you have more aces. The point of this whole thing is there's so many aces that you have that you're throwing out there, you're overcoming objections, you're rolling through it, and you keep going. Eventually you have more aces than they have objections, right? So then you go into the preferred notification. Now, all of my customers love that we always notify you before we come out. Now, a lot of customers like the text message. Would you like us to text you before we come out or give you a phone call? That's another close. Now we're getting more assumptive and more hard closes, but that's fine because it's going to draw up their main concern or it's going to get a yes from them and they're going to buy, right? Then you can go into specialty service bundle. So let's say you've gone through these 3 things and they're definitely interested, but they're not quite there yet. The specialty services, we charge extra for rats, snails, aphids, wasps, fleas, ticks. You can do something like, look, it sounds like you really want to get started. You're just not quite sure if you want to get started tomorrow. You'd be really helping me out if I can get you on the route tomorrow. I tell you what, the specialty services right here, the rats, the snails, the aphids, the wasps, even the fleas and ticks, those are usually extra. But I've already got the product in the back on the truck, and I'm already going to be out here tomorrow. If you'd be willing to get started with me tomorrow, I'll bundle all that in just your regular quarterly. How does that sound? Right? It's another close. How does that sound? And I'm bringing more value, and I'm with the paperwork here, and we've got the momentum going, right? Another one. So these are other closes you can do as well. Time window close, assignment close, service, price drop. So you've overcome a couple things, they're still on the fence, they've given you a couple objections, you resolved it, then you come right back into close. So as far as tomorrow, does the morning or afternoon work for you? Oh, okay, you're not going to be home? You know what, that's fine. We'll find a time that works for you. Just do me a favor. If you ever need anything at all in between those regular visits, the office number's right here. Would you make sure and call us up? We'll come right back out for free reservices. So I just gave them an assignment close and I told them, hey, call me if you ever need anything. We're right here. We do free reservices. Oh, they weren't biting on that yet. Now you got another ace, service close. Well, look, I tell you what, I'm doing everything out here for you. But if I can get you done tomorrow, I tell you what, I'll even put a note in here that we'll get the patio furniture every time for you. A lot of brown widow spiders. And then did you want my tech to go ahead and take care of the garage tomorrow as well? Right? So that's another close. It's a service close. Price drop. So you should be doing price drop and sincerity at the very end. The reason being is by the time you've exhausted all this stuff, you've probably built a lot of value, you've built a lot of anticipation, and they're running out of closes and they're just like, man, what is it going to take to get this guy off my door? Right? Your price drop at that point is a lot more powerful than if you do your price drop up here just to give away, like, oh, you know what, I'll do it for 39 bucks. Okay? Go through everything, and then at the very end, make it hurt. I tell you what, I know that I'm gonna do an awesome job out here for you tomorrow. It sounds like you'd really benefit from the service. If you're able to be out here, I'm already giving the bundle package for free. I'm including that. And I've already knocked off $100 off the initial, and the quarterlies I'm just doing for $99. But if you guys can be out here tomorrow, I'll just do that first one for 69 bucks. Is that fair? Boom. So I'm doing a price drop. It's dramatic at the end. And then finally, you're gonna do sincerity closes. And then one other thing that's not in here is the silent closes. Sincerity closes are very powerful when you convey emotion. What you're doing is you're making it personal with them. Look, my technicians take a lot of pride in what we do out here, and I am gonna treat your home like it's my own. So if you were able to just give me a shot while we're out here tomorrow, I know it'll be worth it for you. I've done everything I can on price, and I know my techs are gonna do amazing on service. What do you say? Let's just get this done. And that's a combination of sincerity and silence closes. But yeah, the point is, master your roadmap, okay? I'm gonna shoot another video. I'm gonna go through the whole roadmap so you can see intro, price, service, paperwork, sincerity, and everything. And the more you practice that, the more you're gonna be getting buyers and people signed up when you're out there. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. All right.